During yesterday's news conference, both President Biden and members of the press failed to bring up the chaos at the southern border, though many would argue that the crisis is one of the most pressing issues that our country is currently facing.
Yeah, and for the latest update on the border, let's turn to our border correspondent, Jason Jones, who is live in Dilley, Texas. Jason.
Bob, Heather, it's good to be with you guys. You know, last night I was in one of the most violent areas along the entire southwest border in Roma, Texas, which sits just across from Miguel Alemán, where Cartel de Golfo is continually moving large groups of people into the U.S. And we've got some exclusive video for you of that. Last night in an area known as Salinas Crossing, CDG Cartel moved hundreds and hundreds of people into the country. And they were wearing these, you know, you guys have seen me show these all the time. You know, this is human trafficking as the cartel is putting these on men, women, and children. It's a humbling thing, guys, to be down there. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if I'm in South Texas. It doesn't matter if I'm in Del Rio or West Texas. We're seeing these things. And what's very clear here is that the federal government has divorced itself from the realities of what's happening on that border and how it impacts the American people.
It's kind of chilly, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, getting down into the 30s at night now?
It is. And last night, I'll tell you, I really kind of kept my distance from so many people. The Border Patrol agents that you see there were really trying to get these people through. There was only about 5 of them, and they were trying to get them processed as quickly as possible. You had a lot of small children in that weather moving in there. Listen, that's a very remote area. By the time you just get to where we were there, that's about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile from the river.
Jason, do you know what's the difference in the colors, the armbands that you're holding? Do you know what the different colors mean? Can you tell us?
I do. It's a great question. I've not seen these purple ones, and I don't know if this is in focus or not, Heather, but you can see it's got Entrega on it. It's also got some different symbols of snow. What that represents is a current alien smuggling organization in that exact area that's moving those people. And they change them all the time, and that's why every time I go back, I end up getting new ones, because they're changing it up all the time. And then if you go even just 5 miles over, you'll see a different alien smuggling organization using a different one.
Yeah, you know what's interesting to me, Jason, is you're down there in Texas. One of the reasons I think that the president wasn't asked about the border is the media is in New York, they're in Washington. They're not affected by this on a daily basis, or at least they don't think they are.
Well, I think that's a great point. And, you know, it's frustrating. I'll just be honest with you. I go down there and I see these things, and I know how fixable a lot of this is. Some of this, you could just pick up a phone, call into Mexico and say, hey, guys, to the Mexican government, would you mind helping us out here and go take care of this cartel, handling this? It shows you that no one is doing even the basic levels of the job. And, you know, if you can't get the little things right, you're never going to get the big things right. And at the same time, the president is not acknowledging what is happening on that border and its impacts to the American people, like you're saying. I mean, look at the overdose death crisis. That is a great example. Because what I know is while I'm watching those family units and you're seeing that, and I know that tugs at the heartstrings of people watching that. But what you don't see is how that is a coordinated cartel operation. As they move those families, they take up all the resources of the Border Patrol. And then upriver and downriver, they move runners who take up the rest of the resources of the law enforcement with local and state who were there, because I saw them there last night, the troopers.
Yeah.
And then from there, the high values and the drugs and other things. So these are very coordinated operations. But when you see it through a singular lens, right, you just see families and you think, well, it's just families trying to make a better life for themselves. And it absolutely is there, because those are just family units.
Right.
But the crime aspects are all implicated in this. And that's why I get embedded with law enforcement and then go to the air so you can see it all as unfolding.
And they're making a lot of money, most profitable ever in history right now, what's happening. Thank you very much, Jason.
Well, it's great to be with you.